Well, first, before I start, Oscar, congrats on a big win. That was pretty awesome.
Thank you very much. In return, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Big win for yourself.
Thank
What a
you.
way to spend it.
Yeah.
Talk to me now. You've had a few minutes to sort of digest the victory and everything. Give us your thoughts on your performance, getting the win on your birthday, and how it feels to come to Vegas and walk out with the dub.
Man, it feels good. First and foremost, Max Griffin's a total stud. Very wary of the right hand, trying to draw it out early. So maybe I looked a little bit tentative. Kind of got a little slippery in there, but most of my fights are kind of messy anyways. So, I think the mess kind of benefits me sometimes. So, but it just felt good to go out there, get the submission win. I don't know if I'm the first to ever do that to Max Griffin or not. Someone said it was. I'm not sure, but it just felt good to go out and get the submission. I got my black belt last night at my weigh-in dinner.
Hey, what a week for you, huh?
Yeah, so like no added pressure to I didn't add any pressure because of that, but it definitely felt really good to go out there on the back end of that moment. It's been a very special 24 hours for me, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The two of these, between getting my black belt last night and getting a submission win on my birthday, I don't think I'll ever have a better 24-hour stretch in my life outside of my wedding. So it's been a very special 24-hour stretch. It feels good to be talking to you guys. I'm very, very happy with my performance.
It looked like the talk on the finish was pretty brutal, man. It looked like you had him really grimacing. Did you know once it was in that, he's not getting out of here?
Dude, I think that my strength is very underrated. I think when you look at my frame, I just kind of look like a gangly spaghetti Eddie, So, I just know if I get a bite on the neck and I get my hands locked, you're going to be in deep trouble. And I can feel him trying to belly out and get the angle. So I switched and went palm to palm, had the body trying to put the arch on it and ice the cake. So I just saw that I tied Kenny Florian for 7 rear naked choke finishes. Now I got to chase down the great Damian Maia and try to get past 9. So it's just cool to have it just created another little goal for me. Just standing outside the tent waiting to come in here is when I read that. And obviously the goal for me remains the same. I want to be a world champion. Otherwise, what's the point in fighting? If you don't think you're the best in the world, if you're not going to chase a world title, what the hell are you doing it for? If you're doing it just for paychecks, you're playing a dangerous game. So for me, I'm training like I'm gunning for a world title. I believe I have the skill set. The only guy to finish Max Griffin before me was Colby Covington. So, but on that note, to see that I get to chase down the great Damian Maia, I just created another new goal for myself to keep me competing for the foreseeable future. So it's always the small goals you have to set up to get to the ultimate prize. So I got to chase him down. I'm going to chase down 3 more rear naked chokes before I hang him up. So we'll see what happens.
It's funny, man. I feel like this sport, it's just as you think you're out, it pulls you back in with these
Yes,
big goals.
it does. Gets its claws and just dug into you.
I think I heard in the corner you were told for once, patience. Is that right? Was that the feedback you were getting in between rounds?
Absolutely. Dude, my coach, I've been with him. It's a rarity in this sport for you to start I'm not finished yet, obviously, but I've been doing this. It'll be 17 years next year, and I've been with the same head coach. You have not seen another chief in command in my corner. It's always been Rick Little. So this guy, if he tells me what to do, I'm going to follow. If he says, hey, you got to get on the gas and go for it, I'm going to get on the gas and go for it. But if he says, hey, be patient, let him come to you, I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to buy into whatever he says because he knows my body. We've put in almost 2 decades of work together. I can literally walk in the gym and he can take one look at me and dictate how our practice is going to go. He'll just look at me and say, you look rough. We're not going to train hard today. Or I'll walk in I could take 5 steps in the door and he'll be like, you look good. We're going hard. So it's to have a guy that knows my body, just knows how to grab the reins and which direction to take me. I think it's important. And loyalty's royalty, and it's rare in this sport. And I've been riding with the same guys. Sam Cecilia, Austin Arnett, Rick Little, till the wheels fall off.
Congratulations once again, and get after it tonight. So the 24 hours goes into 36 and really make the most of it, huh?
Yes, sir.
Mike, right here.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of fighters get their black belts in the Octagon, and some of them even say it's a bigger deal to them than a win or a UFC title or anything, just because of the years. So I guess, what was it like getting that black belt after so long?
It was very special, especially the sentiment that my coach shared with my wife. I left to go to the bathroom when we were at my weigh-in dinner, and I had a big, almost 30 people at my weigh-in dinner, a lot of my teammates, friends, loved ones. And he told my wife, I'm going to give Mike his black belt when he comes back, and I want to make sure to do it, not after the fight. I want to do it before, because that's not what this is about. And every, to each their own. I'm not saying there's a right or a wrong way to go about it, but my jiu-jitsu coach, James Weed, wanted to make it a point that I'm not giving you your black belt based on your performance in a fight. I'm giving you your black belt because you earned it. So it was a very emotional moment for me. It's very special, especially for me, just in the moments that I got it. It's like just looking down at it, to me, it's not an accolade or an accomplishment. It's a responsibility. You know, when I put that belt on, when I go to the gym, it's a responsibility for me to help my teammates, to be a better role model, to be a better man. It's more than an accomplishment. It's a responsibility. So I'm very happy that I've earned the right to carry that responsibility, and I'm going to do it with a lot of pride. And you know, maybe someday I can do what he did and give a black belt to someone else. But it's been a very, very special 24 hours for me. I mean, oh, sorry guys. It's been a very special 24 hours for me. I don't think it'll ever get any better than this. I mean, even if the day comes I win a world championship, it's like, dude, I just got a submission win on my birthday. I got my black belt the day before. Like, all I need is a beer, and that'll really ice the cake.
And in terms of your own career, is Seattle still the plan? I think when they announced that, you were kind of the no-brainer to at least be on the card and maybe even headline it.
I mean, I asked Sean if they had a main event. I saw him backstage when I was walking back. He said he saved a spot for me, kind of, you know, put the ball in my court. We'll see what happens. I tweaked my thumb pretty good. My thumb knuckle's all blown up. We'll see what happens. My wife's birthday's on Friday, so I'm going to take a little bit of time and just decompress. Going to go to Lake Tahoe for the weekend, come home, get back to fighting. You know, we'll see what happens. It's just I put that responsibility on my team to kind of make those decisions. If they think it's good for me to do it, I'm going to do it. The main event slot would really sweeten the pot, but I think that they have somebody, so we'll see what happens. But just got to make sure I'm smart about it. You know, I got to admit, it's good to be active again. Just turned 37, 2 fights in 4 months. You know, 3 fights in 6 months, 3 wins in 6 months would be pretty sweet, you know, on some Cowboy Cerrone shit. So shout out to my dog, Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
Just last one for me. You've always been pretty realistic in terms of who you want next, in terms of you look at the rankings and you move your way up. There's a lot of welterweight fights happening. There's one about to start right now with Randy Brown, who didn't have a lot of positive things to say about you at Media Day. Obviously, you got next weekend, you got the co-main event.
Yeah.
So are there fights you're circling, or are you just waiting for these all to play out and then you'll make a decision?
I saw Randy yesterday. He's like, I don't hate you. You just annoy me. I'm like, hey, sorry, dude. I think he's a great guy, whatever. You know, he has choice words for me. I think he's a cool cat, whatever. It's interesting, like, when you're in the rankings, you have some limited, like, options. You just kind of, like, look at the same 15 guys, and you're just kind of, like, have an idea of who you're fighting. Not having the number next to your name, it's like a throwback to when you first get in the UFC. You don't know who they're going to call you with. There's so many guys outside the rankings, and there's a lot of really, really good fighters. So I'm not sure if I'd get a ranked opponent next. It's just I'm kind of in this situation where, like, when you're ranked, it's better to call your shot. Like, you get the mic, like, you call for a ranked opponent that makes sense. You're doing Sean Shelby's job. You're doing Joe Silva's job. They've always said, like, hey, you make our job easier if you call somebody out. That's why, like, you look at guys like Peyton Talbot. That's why I'm like, hey, when you get the microphone, you got to call someone out. If it makes sense, you're just doing their job, and they'll give you the fight. So, but now that it's like I'm unranked, it's just kind of fun to just kind of sit back and just kind of, you know, see who they give you. But I'm not going to be one of those guys when they're like, who do you want to fight next? I'll just wait for Sean Shelby to call me. Like, if you put me on the spot when I'm in the Octagon and ask me who I want to fight next, there's going to be a name that comes out of my mouth. It's just Joe Rogan just asked about Seattle and not an opponent, so nothing came out of my mouth that night.
Didn't Kevin Holland also say he thought you were annoying at one point too? So, like, what is it with...
Everybody thinks I'm annoying. My sisters think I'm annoying. Some of my friends think I'm annoying. Potential opponents, past opponents think I'm annoying. I don't give a shit. I think being annoying got me my broadcasting job. Just having a mouth and talking a lot kind of, you know, being a nuisance can kind of pay off sometimes.
Mike, just one right here.
Yeah.
You seem super pumped during that Bruce Buffer announcement. Can you just take us through what's going through your head? What kind of emotions are going through your mind in that moment?
Yeah, just like as you get more comfortable inside the Octagon, like I felt like when I first got into the UFC, I'm just kind of like harnessing my energy that I want to tap into, and Bruce is doing the introduction. But part of like I'm a big firm believer in like manifestation, and I'm sure almost every up and coming fighter, part of their manifestation is having Bruce Buffer say your name in the Octagon. And as I've gotten more comfortable in there, I love tapping into that energy, man. And Bruce and I got a special thing going, and it's just like it's like my final send off when I get to just me and Bruce just having our moment in there, and I just love it, man. I know the fans love it. I know I love it, and it's fun, man. I'm a very intense competitor. Like I'm a competitor first, not really a fighter. I just love to compete, and it's that competitive side of me that wants to tap into that energy when Bruce Buffer's saying my name. So it's another special moment with me and the Buff. I love that dude.
Mike, your teammate Brady Heastand, he's young and so successful already. When he had that big injury a couple months ago, what type of advice did you give him, and how is he doing?
Told him to don't fucking push it, little shit. We were just at the gym the other day, and he was trying to drill some guillotine stuff, and I'm like, get the hell off the mats. What the fuck are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm not using my knee. I'm using my arms. I'm like, I don't give a crap. Get over there. Love the kid, man. And that's another thing, too. It's funny you bring that up. In this late stage of my career, fighting's a very, very selfish sport. You have to make a lot of very selfish decisions in your life, with your family, with just so many different things. And having guys like Brady underneath me and Ashton Charlton and like these young up-and-comers, they give me a reason to continue to keep pushing myself in the sport and continue to pave a trail. Obviously I'm doing a lot of this for myself, but they give me a lot of motivation to keep going because I want to blaze a trail for them. So when my time comes and goes, I can step aside and they can walk my line and hopefully have more success than I've had. So guys like Brady give me a lot of motivation to push myself to just kind of be a better man, be a better role model. And when my time comes, I hope that I've blazed a trail that they can continue to walk and have more success than I had. I get a lot of joy and fulfillment from that. So as I've matured and found bigger purposes in my career and why I do this, a lot of it revolves around these young guys.
Mike, Super Lutas Brasil. First
Brasil.
of all, congratulations on winning and your birthday, of
Yeah.
course. With this victory, what do you think about the fight against the Brazilian fighter Gilbert Burns? Thank you.
Who?
Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert and I have always kind of when we were both at lightweight, we kind of maybe wouldn't really chirp at each other, but we always kind of see each other, and it's an interesting matchup. He's a phenomenal grappler. I don't know how in the hell I would ever choke the guy. He's got no neck, respectfully. I mean, the guy's a tank, multiple-time world champion, total stud, big power on the feet, super tough fight. If that was a fight that was presented to me, it would have to be in a main event spot. That's a fight that would have to be a showcase marquee fight. I'm not gonna fight Gilbert Burns buried on the prelims if that was to ever happen. That would have to be in a main event spot. But he's an animal. We'll see him in the corner with Vicente Luque, one of my previous opponents tonight, and I'm always pulling for both of those guys. I think Gilbert Burns and Vicente are two complete studs. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, right here.
Yep.
I know your end goal as a broadcaster has kind of always been to, step into that color commentary role. Is there any indication, from your bosses over at ESPN and the UFC that opportunity could come as soon as next year, or at this point are you still just kind of working towards that?
I'm just working towards it, man. It's really fun kind of getting to do everything. Obviously, commentary is the end goal. I can say very confidently that I'm going to get there someday. It's just a matter of time. So just every time I get a chance to get on the sticks, whether I'm, calling fights for, a regional promotion or if I'm working the desk for ESPN, just always performing my best, trying to improve with my studying, with my etiquette, with my delivery, and how I talk about these fights. It's a lot of fun being a part of the narration of these events. And I get a lot of joy from it. I'm very blessed that my life revolves around this sport. I wouldn't have it any other way. And it's to me, I just think it's a matter of time. So I don't push it too hard. I know my time will come, but just for now, it's just fun balancing being a fighter, being an analyst, getting to commentate. I'm hoping that I get an opportunity this summer on Contender Series. I think it's fitting too. I think that that's kind of the theme for Contender Series is the up and coming fighters, the guys that are trying to break into the big show. And I think it'd be fitting to give guys like myself and Alan Jouban an opportunity to do some color commentary on Dana White Contender Series. But I can see why they put guys like Daniel Cormier and Michael Bisping in those spots because they're the best. And it's nice being surrounded by guys like that I can get a lot of pointers from, get a lot of direction. It's just a matter of time. So patience will pay off, and at some point in time, you will see me in a suit and tie, standing next to Joe Rogan or Paul Felder, or any of those guys getting to do color commentary, and I can't wait.
Is it at all tough to balance the two, fighting and being a broadcaster?
It's pretty easy because this is my life. Like, I don't have kids. I don't have anything like that. You know, my life is just combat sports. And my wife is on board with it. She's all about combat sports as well. She goes to a lot of these events with me. I'd like to think we're a power couple in a sense like that. So she continues to push me and to chase my dreams, and there is no struggle to balance the two. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to like be in training camp, and like it's nice too. Like it's like this training camp. I went to Edmonton to work the desk, and you would think like that would be a hindrance in the middle of training camp to like have to pack your bags and go to Canada, but like, dude, it's awesome because I can continue my training camp. I got to work with Bob Perez for 3 straight days, a different look, a different striking coach. You know, I got to work with him 3 days in a row while I'm at work working the desk. So I can continue my training camp when I'm on the job doing this. So there's really no roadblocks. It's a lot of fun. I love having everything going at once because it all blends together. It's just a melting pot. So I love it. It's never a hindrance. If anything, it's beneficial. It gives me these opportunities. Like, even when I did Saudi Arabia, I went to Saudi Arabia when I was in camp for Tony Ferguson. Got some different looks out there as well from people I've never trained with before. So it all blends together very well, and it's a huge blessing. It's like, sometimes I wonder how the hell I got into that position as an analyst. But, man, I'm very appreciative of it. I never take it for granted, and I'm always very thankful for every opportunity I get to get on the other side of the camera and help narrate these fights.
Thank you.
Yep. Time for birthday beers. Peace out.